All right, it is currently 2:09 p.m. I am in the dark bedroom that belongs to Tracy Banks. I'm at a facilitating venue where state surveillance is underway, and the identification of a crime scene where state surveillance is underway, which is demonic, is first of all the demonic behavioral pattern, which is built into the P.O.C. The P.O.C. is not only the specific environment, which is demonic, but is also the pattern of conduct by the people in that environment, and these people are demon possessed. These people are legally relevant because it's the government. It's literally the police department, the fire departments, the sheriff's departments. It's the municipality themselves that are outwardly conducting themselves as they're engaging in some function of their job or whatever it is that they're ordinarily supposed to be doing on the surface. This is demonic at its core. It's highly malicious when they're in that specific environment, abiding by the identical behavioral pattern while they are focusing on one person, which is entirely psychotic. Okay, this is demon possession that I'm exposing. And in this specific environment, I'm inside of the bedroom, which is the blinds are closed. It's supposed to be dark, but you're looking at what is illumination of light. First of all, this is engineer light. This bedroom is filled with light, but I'm going to show you the POC even more so. But it is 2:09, 2:10 in the afternoon. This is the same apartment where I'm capturing the sunrise, where AVANATH capital management employees are group stalking around the apartment, sweeping on the staircase. Hitting that staircase is relevant positioning, light activity, and audible activity, while such demons, who are, again, the company name is relevant to whose pockets I'm going to drain and who I'm going to civilly and criminally prosecute while they're group stalking on behalf of the state. That's the prosecution of the state of California. And they're also demon possessed. Okay. So the entity is engaging in a very specific pattern of conduct at the address Woodside Senior Apartments, apartment number 51, where it is 2 o'clock in the afternoon. The fake sun is here. You've already seen that. And I'm inside of a bedroom with the blinds closed. And this is a patio, a covered patio. There's not going to be any sunlight, but this is concentrated light that's appearing on the wall. This is entirely demonic. It's impossible light activity. And you have seen this on an ongoing basis. When I'm documenting the POC and all the ways in which the entity is engaging in the same exact pattern of conduct. So I want you to see the light. Let me zoom in, because my movement in the room creates light activity while you're looking. This is supernatural because the patio outside is covered. It's not sunlight. So as I'm moving in front of the blinds, let me what I'm doing. All I'm doing is my arm is being held up, and I'm just moving back and forth because through closed blinds that are closed, and they're closed and going in this direction. They're closed, so you can see. Closed in this direction, and what is a covered patio. This is entirely demonic. Okay, and who's in relevant position? AVANATH capital management, by the way, the employees, all right, who are engaging in a 24-hour system of surveillance, and it's demonic, and they are doing so with the rest of the population that lives at a property. And where the facilitating venue is identified, a fake sun is rising and setting at this property. On the left side to the right side of the apartment door where I remain, apartment 51. The center of this demonic imitation of the natural environment is centered around me, where I am, and what I do as I do it. And this is identifying it while I open the blinds, and you're looking at a covered patio where no sun is bending down to be beside this patio door, showing no sunlight. This is all shade. That's the purpose of having structures like this, by the way. And you have what is the opening up the blinds, which is the placement of engineered light that you see. You see multiple shadows. You see my hand holding my phone. This is demonic. And the people of the state, including the government that you see heavily stalking in helicopters and in airplanes, commercial airline planes. This is the criminal monitoring system, and this is the enabling for a whole population of demons who are listening to every word that I say, every movement that I make, everything that I'm doing when I'm conscious and unconscious. The demons are so obsessed, they listen to me breathe. They are aware of when my panties are down in the bathroom, and so is the sex offender and the demon-possessed group stalker who's acting with the government, the state, to try to sacrifice me, which a government engages in group stalking. It's absolutely demonic. So is this light activity. Let me zoom out again, looking at. That is never, ever happening from sunlight. This is never happening from opening your blinds. I want you to see the detailed examination of this environment. Okay? That's not sunlight, nor is this occurring in some sort of isolated universe where nobody around you is a part of the environment that you're in. Okay? I also want to be clear, it's demonic. And Tracy Banks was engaged in group stalking. She engages in, this is demonic. She's got these crystals here. She's a secret witch. All right. I wasn't raised in this sort of environment, but she's engaged in the demonic practices of group stalking, targeting me with people that I don't know and people that I do know, people in my family since I was a child. And the use of, this is demonic, okay? I just want to be clear. She is indeed a witch. What I stated is true. She's engaged in witchcraft secretly. She's openly engaged in and fully exposed as a demon-possessed group stalker. And I happen to know this witch's name. It's Tracy Banks. Okay, she's engaged in criminal surveillance and she's going to federal prison for group stalking with the rest of the people of the state. And everybody in this building, like you saw the Ontario Police Department group stalking in helicopters, while they know what it is that I'm doing on the internet inside of this apartment, which is federal stalking, underneath a covered patio through closed blinds. There is no sunlight that's piercing through above the picture. This is present no matter what side of the building the fake sun is on. This is not sunlight, just like that wasn't sunlight on her bedroom wall. This is place light. This is engineer light. This is the ability to discern the presence of Satan. Satan is a spirit. Okay, and you're understanding what is the unnatural environment that surrounds you as well, because there's only one sun. And this one sun, I'm putting in quotes, that you're going to see in the sky space that I've already shown you is remaining here from 7:18 to 6:27 in the evening, is not going to be over you, because there's only one. And you already know the natural environment does not consist of the sun staying at one address all day long. This is, however, the environment where a bunch of demons are stalking. And because the state of California wants to engage in stalking, they're in the business of trying to sacrifice, trying to murder people, and then calling it a day's work with a police department, a sheriff's department, a fire department, kidnapping somebody that's mentally ill as they criminally defame you, kidnapping someone that's committed a crime as they defame you with the demons whom they're group stalking you with, engaging in harassment and terrorism because those demons are hostile as you document and publish it on the internet. That's what's going on. They're going to federal prison. The Ontario Police Department is going to be disbanded. Okay? This is impossible light activity. It's flat on the ground. It's coming underneath the doorway. The sun is not going to be beside the building. The sun's not even going to be at the same address where it's rising at 7 in the morning. It is 2:16 in the afternoon. Okay, I'm placing at this time, I'm in San Diego, California at the parking garage at around 2:40. I point my phone straight up and you see the fake sun over me at the parking garage when I'm documenting the pattern of conduct under a fake sun in San Diego, California at Fairfield by Marriott. This is also impossible light activity because the sun is not going to be over San Diego, over the top of my head, and at Woodside Senior Apartments, let alone from 7 a.m. here and still here now. It's not sunlight that's coming underneath structures. That's not sunlight. The sun is above us. Sunlight comes downward. It doesn't engage in what is bending underneath and spreading on the ground and up the walls. This is the P.O.C. This is engineer light. That's not sunlight when the door is closed. Okay? It has nothing to do with that engineered light that you saw stretching underneath a doorway, as though the sun is on the ground shooting light horizontally. This is engineer light. They're all group stalking here, and they're all a bunch of demons obsessed with when I wake up, when I go to sleep, when my panties are down, what it is that I'm saying, what it is that I'm doing. This has nothing to do with the light that you saw that's never going to appear underneath a structure. This is all shade. The pattern of, you see the blinds here? Excuse me, not the blinds, the bushes? Activity. It's impossible light activity. And the shadow of that which the engineer light touches, it appears at a distance on the object that the engineer light touches. This is not normal light. It's not sunlight, nor is that the sun. And guess what? Everybody in the environment is engaged in that conduct, and you know their condition. They're a bunch of demons. They're a bunch of demons that hang on their homes that are a crime scene, and they're going to be based on their address. 717 North Vine Avenue. They're going to be prosecuted as domestic terrorists, and they're violent sex offenders engaging in terrorism like you saw with the Ontario Police, a demon-possessed terrorist organization whose masquerade as a law enforcement agency, it's long been up. You're just waiting. These demons, and so is the state of California, they've been waiting and praying to Satan, who cannot help them, who does not have any power that surpasses the Lord Jesus Christ, thinking that they're going to get away with murdering me, and it's not going to happen. So they have literally been waiting for the day that they're going to be raided by the federal government, that they're going to the cages that they're going to sit in for failing at but trying to sacrifice someone, murder someone, which is what the United States is engaging in. And you're aware of it because of the unnatural environment that surrounds you. This is demonic. This is demonic, and so are the people who surround you. And what you've seen surrounding me, the airports, that's crossing path by a demon, and it's intentional conduct in conformity to the pattern of conduct because the environment is here. A bunch of strangers that I don't know monitoring me when I'm inside of the apartment, and Tracy Banks putting crystals, demonic crystals in her window, is fully engaged in that. Okay? But there is no crystal that supersedes the power of the Holy Spirit. It's not going to silence what the Lord is saying, and it certainly is not going to work against one who's been given the victory. All right? Satan is fully defeated, but I want to be clear, this is evidence regarding not only a testimony that the Lord Jesus Christ has given me, but this is regarding evidence that I'm going to prosecute this demon-possessed entity with. Okay, it's going to be submitted in a federal tribunal for the prosecution of a corrupt entity. This is public corruption that I'm exposing. And it operates under company names who are going to be civilly and criminally prosecuted while a population acts with lawlessness. It's not traffic, it's surveillance. It's not business of 7-Eleven, it's surveillance. It's ongoing impunity and malice. And because they're making money while they're acting in the conspiracy to murder and kidnap someone, I'm draining those pockets. Because you're engaged in the conspiracy to murder and kidnap someone, I'm going to criminally prosecute you. And this whole building's going to federal prison. I'm documenting on an ongoing basis amplification, which is demonic, of planes and helicopters who have no business flying over a senior citizen complex and multifamily residence and zoning area, doing so and enabling and facilitated through the population who are all demons. You've seen them crossing path under the same fake sun that remains over me as I move. You've seen it in traffic. You've seen this, which is impossible. It's occurring where I was living and working at Alvarado Gardens with the demon-possessed agency, putting their faces on the news as though they've engaged in some act of heroism with some sort of takedown of the white supremacists in LA. Let me be clear, those are group stalkers that they're prosecuting. And speaking of them taking out, I'm referencing the demons of the LAPD. Those are a bunch of demons and they're waiting for their exposure. They're playing cops and robbers. Those are group stalkers that they claim that they did I'm referencing what Dominic Choi is speaking of on the news. That's a demon. He's engaged in terrorism just like the Ontario police. They're under a fake sun, engaging in terrorizing American citizens like myself, and then masquerading as a police department, turning around to the public as though they're engaging in some work as a law enforcement agency. And who are they arresting? The people of the state, the bunch of demons that they're group stalking with. This is spiritual, okay? And these that are engaging in this demonic system, secretly engaging in what is murder and kidnapping while acting as though masquerading as their legitimate law enforcement agencies who are on the news advertising how they've taken down the next white supremacist group who's engaged in egregious conduct that they know all about. LAPD is engaged in demonic surveillance. That's why they were engaged in group stalking me at Alvarado Gardens. The Dominic Choi is not going to talk about that on the news. But his time as a demon-possessed terrorist leader is ticking down. His time in that position is over. Okay, and that's exactly what Mike Lorenz represents. That's why Mike Lorenz's Ontario Police Department is engaged in the same pattern of conduct, flying over this property where the fake sun is rising all day long. And that light activity, this is the same apartment where I'm in, and you're seeing my shadow upright on the wall last night, in front of me on here last night, and up front on, my shadow is upright on this door where the demon in apartment 52 is group stalking. They're all group stalking. This is P.O.C. It's 2:21 p.m. This is where the entity is rising a fake sun. This is where it's remaining all day long. As I open up this front door, you're seeing it at 10:30, 11, 12, 1. Here it is at 2 o'clock. You've seen my upright shadow under the fake sun in the same way that you saw it last night, where engineer light is appearing on these buildings. They're all engaging in that. That's a pedestrian who's group stalking with the state. That overweight minion with the white t-shirt, a sex offender. And it's the same with every vehicle that's a means of ongoing demonic pacing. And the entity is chiefly relying on this demon who's going to federal prison in apartment 55, license plate 5WUV715. She's going to federal prison. And Mike Lorenz and no demon-possessed agency working for the fire department, nobody has anything that's going to help her with, nor Satan himself. She's going straight to federal prison for engaging in what is the exposed means of public corruption in California, federal group stalking and monitoring, which is a conspiracy to murder and kidnap someone, and doing it through while employing the demonic, which is supposed to be so incredible that no one's going to ever believe the accusations, the contentions of the targeted individual. The P.O.C. provides a body of evidence about what people in this country have been subject to. Many of them are already dead. Many are sitting around kidnapped right now, while this criminal system is what they were subject to. And they're subject to it because the demon-possessed entity is group stalking in their jails and in their mental facilities, and they are the ones that need to be locked up. While they're calling themselves deputies and mental health therapists and whatnot, they're engaging in the P.O.C. All right, it is currently, again, 2:22 p.m. This is the specific environment where the entity is keeping engineer light coming through blinds that are closed, appearing on the ground, lines of light on the ground, on the floor, appearing and disappearing. Engineer light that's appearing behind the door, above the door and behind the door, as though the sunlight through the patio door is generating through the patio blinds. I'm showing you the engineer light on an ongoing basis, and then you're understanding what is not separate from all the rest of these demons who are going to be prosecuted by it. The only reason why this exists for so long is because the entity is drunken with power. You've got corrupt sheriff's departments and corrupt courthouses. It's facilitation. It's facilitation. You have a whole corrupt system. That's how a corrupt police department and a corrupt society, the people themselves are capable of engaging in it, and they are so deluded with what is no longer permitted. They're continuously engaging in it, and they have been, let me be clear, this has been concluded. They lost a long time ago. They lost a long time ago. You can look at the years of evidence that's already on the record. Okay, so why are you still group stalking in 2024? Because you're a delusional psychopath, which characterizes a demon-possessed person. Mental illness is very popular. They're the demon-possessed. They are the demon possessed. It's currently 2:24 p.m. This is POC. This is the population of the state of California that's going to be prosecuted. They're not free to engage in any driving. They're doing so on behalf of the government that has no warrant or probable cause to keep you under surveillance, and you're recognizing the criminal system of group stalking and surveillance, harassment, and terrorism as the entity in the specific environment. We're that entity, as you see, day and night, including last night, stalking in helicopters, and you're stalking in helicopters in the specific environment. The group stalking in helicopters is a hallmark. It's a hallmark, and that is also fully supported and demonstrated, proven through the body of evidence. That is the POC. It is again 2:24 p.m. This is POC.